Welcome to the Service Logic YouTube channel. This week, what we're talking about is all about how to format your time for your business. So how can you best use your time in your business? We are gonna hit on some super applicable and implementable things that can change the game when it comes to your lawn care and service business. Awesome. So up on the docket today, I am running a lot of errands. I have a lot of meetings. And so I'm gonna go pick up some material for a job that we're doing tomorrow. It's a big rock install. So I got to go pick up some metal edging at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever I see has it first. And then from there, I'll go to some meetings. Tonight I have one lawn to mow just to make sure that we get everything done. And then we will talk about your time formatting throughout the day. So I'm excited. This is something that I really enjoy. It is kind of impossible to run a business if you don't know how to format your time. And so I really just want to share a few helpful tips and tricks and then just ideas that if we don't get, we're going to mess up our time and we're not going to be able to offer the best quality service that we could. So let's get into the rest of the video. Awesome. So I got that one lawn done. I was going to record it. Honestly, just did not get around to it. I am super rushed. So what I really want to talk about in this video though is how we should format our time. And I want to break it down into three things. I want to break it down into the actual servicing of your properties, then marketing, and then upkeeping. Like, what does it look like to upkeep relationships with clients? So you only have a certain amount of time in your week. We don't have 3,000 hours in a week to do whatever we want. And if we did, we wouldn't be happy because God set the week up the way it is, that we are supposed to work 6, rest for 1, and that is how we are meant to thrive. So if you're owning a business, you're trying to do things the right way, what we have to figure out is how we can fit everything into the time that we're allotted. Now, that's the first question that we have to answer. We have to answer the question of how much time we're actually trying to give to it. So for my business, I'm in school full-time right now. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to just do a great job with this company. So breaking it down into service, marketing, and then maintaining client communication can really help us. So we have to allot our time, but in order to allot our time, we have to know how much time we actually have. So at the beginning of your company, you might be doing multiple things. I'm in school full-time right now, and then I'm also doing this business. So let's say, for example, you have 20 hours a week that you can spend on your company. In my case, it's Dixon Lawn Care. Say I have 20 hours a week to spend on the business. What I like to do is I like to break that up between two things. Number one, where are you at in your business? Are you just getting started, or have you been doing this for a while? If you're just getting started, then that means you're doing everything. But as you grow, maybe you hire one guy. This helps because then you're able to know, okay, right now I'm doing everything in my business. I'm doing servicing, marketing, customer care. I want to spend 15 hours a week doing properties or servicing houses or cleaning gutters, and you have your hourly rate that you've worked up. Say it is $80 an hour. To turn a profit, cover expenses, you have 5 extra hours that week. We don't want to constantly be going more than we need to. So you have 5 more hours that week. Now, how are you going to break that up? So your customer care in a service business is actually super simple at the beginning, because if you are on the properties doing a service, say mowing the lawn or washing the window, you're on their property, you're actually going to be more likely to run into them in the first place. But as you continue on, you might be managing from afar, and so you have to look at it different. But at the beginning, if you're on the property, you can simply make a dedicated effort to talk to that client and cover any customer care aspects that you want to. We've talked about customer interaction in the past and how that's super valuable. You can go watch that video right after this one. So let's say that the customer care and all those customer interactions that you're having take an extra 2 hours a week. All right, so now you have 3 hours left for marketing. Now, number one, you have to see if that's even enough time for you to get the marketing done that you want. Your marketing time will vary depending on what your goals are for your company. If you're just trying to get it to 15 hours a week and you want to charge the most amount of money for those 15 hours and you want to provide the best service for those 15 hours, then that's going to be a lot different than a guy who is doing 15 hours right now, but in the long run actually wants to go full time. He's going to want to dedicate a lot more of his time to marketing and maybe hiring on a guy to do the service aspect of the business. But at the beginning, say you only want 20 hours of work. You need 3 hours a week to build your business. At that point, you are trying to make your processes efficient. So let's say it takes you about an hour to do each property. That's 15 lawns, 15 houses, but maybe a piece of equipment that you can get that'll make you faster. Here's an example. At the beginning of my company, I started with one 21-inch push mower. It's probably what many of you have at your house normally, even if you don't do lawn care. But as I expanded, what I realized is I didn't have a lot more time in my week. So instead, I had to save time and make myself more efficient by getting bigger mowers. You see some mowers I have over here, and they're a lot faster. But at first, I couldn't necessarily afford that. So what I did instead was I bought a second mower. And so now I had 2 guys. We always had 2 guys on the job, and we could push mow, and we could get almost double the amount of lawns done. But as this continued, what you realize is that push mowing sucks, and no one wants to push mow. So you buy a bigger mower, and you become more efficient. So now, if I'm spending 20 hours a week, then maybe I'm able to do 30 lawns in that same 15 hours, because I've dropped my time on the property down to 30 minutes. Now you can see how this is kind of a plug and play method. As you grow, you don't necessarily have to increase how much you're working. All you have to do is increase your efficiency as you grow. In the end, what it comes down to in managing your time as a small business owner is actually naming the things that you want to spend your time on. If you don't name the things you want to spend your time on, then you could be spending your time on 1,000 things that don't actually matter. Take those few things you're learning about business, say you know you need marketing, you know you need to offer a better service, and then what you're able to do is move past simply learning everything that every guy on YouTube thinks you need to know, and instead focus your learning down to the point where you actually are learning things that you can implement right away. If you don't format your time, what you're going to find is it's a gigantic cycle. You market your customers that you can offer the best service possible. But then if you haven't formatted your time correctly, what you'll find is your customer care stinks because you're spending all of your time just mowing a lawn instead of interacting with clients and actually building a relationship that lasts for the long term. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am super excited to continue answering these questions. Man, I'm learning a lot in my business the past few months, and I'm just really glad that I get to share it on this platform. If you guys wouldn't mind, comment below some of the things you'd love for me to cover. I've said it the past couple of videos, but I really do mean it. I'm looking for video ideas, and I want to cover things that are helpful to the people that are listening to the videos. I don't want to just be in an echo chamber. So like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if this is any help at all. I would immensely appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.